Today we are going to talk about different shapes and their attributes. And so I've already done a video going over this sheet. I'll also link it in the description. But basically it's a good quick guide, I guess is what it's called, to different types of triangles, quadrilaterals, and then polygons. So triangles obviously have 3 sides and angles. Quadrilaterals have 4 sides. Quad means 4. And polygon just means any shape with, more than 2 sides, right? Because you can't have a shape with, I guess technically it's a shape with straight lines, though. I don't. So, yeah. Polygon would be a shape with straight lines, and you can have polygons that have tons of different sides, right? But anyway, today we're going to focus on quadrilaterals. So we have a square. All sides are equal. All angles are 90 degrees. Rectangle, opposite sides equal. All angles are 90 degrees. So technically a square is a square. Also a rectangle. It's also a rhombus, I believe, because the rhombus is all sides equal. 2 pairs of parallel lines. And then opposite angles are equal. So basically parallel lines means that if they went on forever, they would stay the same distance apart, and they would never intersect, obviously, or overlap, right? So you could think of train tracks, the 2 sides of the train tracks, right? Obviously, they never intersect, and they stay the same distance apart. Then we have a parallelogram, which is opposite sides are equal. 2 pairs of parallel lines, so that's still, square still fits a parallelogram. A kite, adjacent sides equal, so adjacent means the sides next to each other. Opposite sides obviously mean the sides that are across in the shape, so adjacent sides are equal. And 2 congruent angles, which means that, 2 angles are equal. So, technically, a square has 4 congruent angles. So, a trapezoid has 1 pair of parallel sides, and then a trapezium is just no pairs of parallel sides. So, with that in mind, we are actually going to try to answer some multiple choice questions, or I guess they're true and false. So all trapezoids are quadrilaterals. Trapezoids have to be quadrilaterals. That is they're in this quadrilateral column, and it's not a trapezoid if it doesn't have 4 sides. So all trapezoids are quadrilaterals. It's the same thing with parallelograms. They have to be quadrilaterals. They have to have 4 sides. All rhombuses have only 1 set of equal length sides. That is not true. All sides are equal. So rhombuses have to have, I guess, technically 2 sets of equal length sides, but they're all equal to each other. So it would be, all 4 would be equal. All rectangles are quadrilaterals? Yes. All rectangles have to have 4 sides. All squares have only 1 set of parallel sides. Nope. Right? So squares have 2 sets of parallel sides. All rectangles are squares. No. That's not true, because squares have to have the same length sides, all 4 sides. So all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. All rhombuses are squares, incorrect. All squares are rhombuses, but all rhombuses are not square. Obviously, this right here is not a square because they're not 90-degree angles, right? All squares are parallelograms. Yes, right? Because a parallelogram has opposite sides are equal and then two pairs of parallel lines. So the opposite sides are equal. All four of these are equal. And then these are parallel lines, right? All quadrilaterals have four sides. Of course, a quadrilateral has to have four sides. A trapezoid has two sets of parallel sides. That is incorrect. It only has one set, right? It only has one pair of parallel sides. A trapezoid has angles that can be any degree. Yeah, I mean, technically, I guess they could be any degree, right? Because they just have one pair of parallel sides. So depending on how the sides that are not parallel, how these ones are, they could have angles of just about any degree. So that would be true. So these are just a few of the things. Really, for this, you really have to kind of memorize the attributes of each of these shapes, because it's not like you're memorizing a method or a formula to try to figure things out and you have to actually do the math. It's basically like you have to just memorize this stuff, because otherwise you're not going to be able to answer questions about like the attributes of the shape. You just have to know it. Like, you can't kind of figure it out on the fly. So the key in this is just memorizing this stuff. And like I said, I'll link this in the description, this sheet, and the best thing to do is just study it.